you wouldn't even know what she was about to experience. This little girl, she was probably about, she had to be at least about 9-10 months there. She's holding herself up there. But this picture was taken at 118 Key Street in LaGrange, Georgia. I was raised by my great-grandmother and my great-aunt. And the anger that this little girl felt growing up, because she remembers very vividly having phone conversations with her mom, who was in prison most of the 80s as she was growing up. She remembers those moments of wishing she had her parents. She watched her dad get married twice and raise another woman's daughter while his child still lived in the same circumstances that they were born into with their grandmother, living on a fixed income and watching other people raise his child. And she had to watch him raise another person's child. And she loved her stepsister dearly, but seeing that pretty much taught her that she wasn't enough. And she got angry because later on in her life, her mom did get out of prison, but her mom then became in another prison called crack addiction. And she watched her mom go through not being able to be there, marrying a man that was very abusive and witnessing this abuse when she went on trips to see her mom on a weekend visit. And she saw all of this, and all of this stuff just bubbled up in her, and she became angry as her dad also dealt with crack addiction and losing his job, losing his second wife, and moving in now, being in the home with her because now he couldn't afford to support himself because of the crack addiction and losing all of his jobs. And she had to see this. This was what allowed her to have a dad in the home, because he lost everything else. And she worked through that. This young girl that she grew into, she went into middle school dealing with that anger, watching her sister come to school and show out every day in all the nicest clothes while she had on what her grandmother and her aunt could afford. And she just kept getting more and more angry. And as that little girl got angrier, when she did get into middle school, she started to deal with that anger in a very unfortunate way. She started to do things like cutting. She started to do things like writing suicide notes, planning out what she wanted to wear at her funeral, because she was so hurt and so angry that all of that anger had turned into depression. And that's one thing we don't understand about anger. If we don't deal with it, it turns into depression. It pushes us to that point. And I hope no one else ever has to get to the point that that little girl got to, because it is a dangerous place to be when you don't understand how to control that anger and simmer that fire. It's a dangerous place to be. But luckily that little girl, she was a smart little girl, and she knew that she could find a way out. And her way out was wanting to help other people with their stuff. She decided in 7th grade career connections class, I want to be a child psychologist. I want to go to school and I want to learn how to help other people. And that's how she channeled her anger. But we all have to learn what is our purpose. Our anger will lead us to a place where we can truly get to our purpose. And that's where we have to tap in. Your anger can be used as fuel to navigate you to the next level in your life if you allow it to. So luckily for that little girl, she had enough sense to know that there was a way out. And she used the common sense of taking a psychology class and learning about how all of this stuff works in order to be able to better herself. And now she's committed her life to helping other women, specifically Black women, empower themselves to do that. So your anger journey may not look like hers, but we all have a story, and we all have to be willing to confront those parts of ourselves. So I appreciate you guys going on that journey with me. It's very